Chapter 3037 begins with the guests at the banquet gradually dispersing after the confrontation between Kevin and Samira Levine. Despite the heated exchange that had just occurred, the atmosphere quickly returns to normal as the guests resume drinking, chatting, and laughing as if nothing out of the ordinary had happened. However, the incident leaves an impression on Rosella York, who feels relieved knowing that Cameron is not one to be easily bullied and is capable of standing up for herself when necessary. As the wives of the York family are invited back into the house by Joel Erickson, Carrie Lab approaches Cameron and Riley, politely asking to join them. Riley, having developed a slight fondness for Carrie after seeing her defend Cameron earlier, invites her to sit down. This small act of inclusion highlights the potential for alliances to form even in the midst of underlying tensions. However, Cameron uses the opportunity to reflect on her strained relationship with her younger sister Carrie Newman. She mentions that Samira's behavior reminded her of Carrie, who had a history of causing trouble and relying on their mother's indulgence to escape consequences. Cameron laments that if their mother had been as wise and strict as Mrs. Levine, Carrie might have turned out differently. This reflection reveals Cameron's deep seated frustration with her sister and the long standing family issues that continue to affect her. Carrie, who had been the focus of Cameron's thoughts, remains outwardly calm despite the veiled criticisms. She understands that Cameron's words are not directed at her personally, but at her sister, Carrie Newman. However, this does not prevent her from feeling tested by Cameron's remarks, as she senses that her sister's reputation still casts a shadow over her own. Riley, unaware of the history between the two sisters, joins the conversation by drawing a comparison between Samira and Carrie Newman. She recalls how Carrie's jealousy and reckless behavior led her to plot against Serenity York, an action that ultimately resulted in legal repercussions and a stint in jail. Riley's comments serve as a reminder of the consequences of impulsive actions and how they can lead to lasting damage, not only to the individual, but also to their family. Carrie Lab forces a smile and agrees with Riley and Karen, acknowledging the importance of being cautious with one's words and actions. She emphasizes that disaster comes from the mouth and warns against spreading rumors or underestimating the consequences of one's actions. Carrie's response is measured and diplomatic, but it masks her growing frustration and anger. The chapter takes a tense turn when two bodyguards from the Lap family, who had been discreetly observing Carrie, sense her rising anger. They quickly intervene, one of them whispering to Carrie that it is time to leave. This intervention underscores the precariousness of Carrie's situation and the vigilance required to prevent her from making a public scene. The bodyguard's presence also hints at the careful management of appearances that is necessary in high society circles. Carrie, recognizing the need to exit gracefully, informs Kevin and Riley that she must return home due to pressing matters. Riley expresses surprise at her early departure, but does not press the issue, allowing Carrie to make her exit with dignity.